Okay, the story of this album, and the album's called Three, and the reason it's called Three is because it's our third album, which is pretty straightforward, isn't it? But I'm proud of this album. It's another good combination, I think, of my works and Paul O'Brien's works. And sometimes we collaborate, sometimes we sort of work independently. We also often go at each other's lyrics, which is a good thing. But the story of the album is such that originally it was going to be recorded, we thought, with the same personnel we used on the last one, which was called McSherry O'Brien and the Lowlands. But under the circumstances, because the majority of the Lowlands boys live in Western Australia, they had to get to us, or we had to get to them again, and we're all based in Melbourne. So what happened was, in a nutshell, we played a couple of gigs, and we played them, Paul and I, with local players, and we really enjoyed it, and it changed our sound somewhat because it was more keyboard based, thanks to David Jones, who's a fantastic player. He played on the Lowlands album, but just played on a few tracks. We added a little bit of spice at the end, and he played so well. We kept playing, and he brought along a drummer he knew, Rob Nicholson, who's a terrific drummer, and we added Tony Watt. We offered him a gig. He's a bass player, hasn't played in some time, but he's a great player, and he's got a great bass too, and plays very well on this album. So suddenly we had a new band, and we went into the studio, recorded at Newmarket Music, the rhythm tracks, and then did all the rest at Dave McClooney's place, which is Atlantis Studios. He's now based in Tottenham, and we know Dave well because he did the last two albums, so it was like familiar ground for him and for us. He helps in the producing. He's a great engineer, and he's very quick, which is the way that we like to work. There's 8 tracks on it. It's the usual, half mine, half Paul's, and the topics range from politics to personal, and there's actually one pure pop song on it. But I'm quite proud of the album. What we did for a bit of spice this time, though, was that we added Marcus Sturrock from the Lowlands. It's moved to Melbourne, so we grabbed him, and he played guitar on a couple of things. And we also added it's David Jones's nephew, and his name is Daniel Parsons Jones, and Daniel played trumpet on one of the tracks, and then some great playing by Timothy J. Fry, who's a pedal steel player. So it's given it a big country sort of kick, I guess, but I think they're pretty strong songs, and as I said, I'm quite proud of the work. It's taken us a while to do because Paul O'Brien takes a long time. He does a lot of the, what would you say, the critical listening, whereas I'm kind of one of those guys who, once the track is done, I want to move on and do something else, whereas he'll go back and he'll refine it, and he'll be after that particular harmony or whatever it may be to make it as close as he can get it to perfect. But I hope you'll enjoy it. McSherry O'Brien 3. Buy it.